Hello everyone, welcome back. Fair Division Day 3. We're going to do some more divider chooser method problems. We're going to take a look at a couple of examples today, one similar to the one that we did yesterday, and another one from a slightly different perspective. Same scenario, but different perspective. So yesterday we were talking about this divider chooser method, and just to kind of recap, the way it works is you assign someone to be a divider, you assign somebody else to be a chooser, and the person who divides will take whatever it is they're dividing and chop it in half and into two shares that they feel are equal in value. And then the other person, the chooser, gets to choose whatever half they want, right? So one person cuts, one person chooses. So remember, when the divider cuts something in half, it is automatically assumed that the two halves they create are equal in value. Okay, so the two pieces they create are equal no matter what. So the first example that we're going to look at today takes a look at this method from the perspective of the chooser. All right, so we're looking at Damien and Rachel here, and they're going to split a bag of the candy again. And we get Damien's value system here. So he values the Snickers at $5, the Milky Ways at $3, and the Reese's at $4. So that would mean that doing a quick conversion, right, if we were looking at the individual Snickers, the value for each one Snicker bar is about 5 cents, right, because we would take 5 divided by 100 and we would get 5 cents. All right, so we would, when I look at these, I automatically think 5 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, because there's 100 of each candy. Okay, so we know what value he places on these candies. Now, Rachel is the divider, Damien's the chooser, so Rachel divides and in one half puts these candies into one half. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take those and say, okay, hey, this is half one. And we can automatically figure out what half two is going to be, right? Because if there's 20 Snickers in half one, there's got to be 80 Snickers in half two. And there has to be 80 Milky Ways in half two. And then if there's 70 Reese's in half one, there's got to be 30 Reese's in half two, right? Because they have to add up to 100, because there's 100 total candies. All right, then we can figure out the total value of all candy according to Damien. So we're trying to do this analysis based on Damien's view, being the chooser here. All right, so the total value of all the candy, if I took all the Snickers and all the Milky Ways and all the Reese's and I added those up, I'd get 5, 3, 4, which is a grand total of $12. Okay, so he values all of the candy at $12. So Damien's fair share would be that total value divided by the number of people that we're dividing between, and that's 2. So we're going to say 12 divided by 2 equals $6. So that is a fair share according to Damien. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out, well, in half one, how much money worth of Snickers do we have in half one? So we're going to calculate that value. So I'll pull up my calculator here. Okay. And remember that the Snickers are worth 5 cents a piece. So we're going to do 20 times 0.05. All right, so we get $1 worth of Snickers. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to say $1 worth of Snickers. Now remember, he valued all of the Snickers at $5, so we can automatically figure out that the value of the Snickers in half two has to be $4, right? Because the total value of the Snickers, according to Damien, was $5. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the Milky Ways. So remember, the Milky Ways were worth 3 cents, right? So we've got 20 Milky Ways. We'll do 20 times 0.03. And we get 60 cents worth of Milky Ways. So I'll put a 0.60 here. And remember, all of the Milky Ways were worth $3. So that means the remaining Milky Ways that are in half two have to be worth $2.40. And we do the same thing with the Reese's. We would take 70 Reese's times 0.04, and you would get $2.80 in half one. And since the total value is $4 worth of Reese's, that means we would have $1.20 left over for half two. Right, so that way if I added these up, we would get our 5, our 3, and our $4 that we saw from Damien's value system. Okay, So now all I have to do is go through and figure out what each half is worth, right? So if I take all of this candy and I add it together, we're going to get $4.40 for half one. This is the value that Damien places on half one. And if I compare that to what he thinks is a fair share, Damien would not be happy with half one. It is less than his fair share. Okay, so we'd go through and add up half two, right? So $2.40, $1.20. If I add those all together, we get $7.60. This would be the half that Damien would be happy with. That is more than his fair share, so Damien would be satisfied with half two. So if Damien is the chooser, we can predict that he would choose half two. Okay. So that is a problem that really looks at the divider-chooser method from the perspective of the chooser. So what we're going to do in example 2 is we're going to look at it from the perspective of the divider. Okay. So in this example, we have Alfonso and Kristen who want to split a bag of the candy again. They're going to use the divider-chooser method, and the bag contains the same number of candies, 100 Snickers, 100 Milky Ways, and 100 Reese's. And this time, we get Alfonso's value system, and Alfonso is the divider. Okay, so we're getting the value system of the divider here. All right, so Alfonso values them at 4, 3, and 2, so $4, $3, $2, which means Snickers are worth 0.04, right, 4 cents, and Milky Ways are worth 0.03, so 3 cents, and Reese's are worth 2 cents a piece. Okay, and again, the way I got those, I just took $4 divided by 100, all right, and that'll get you these numbers. You do the same thing with Milky Ways and the same thing with Reese's. All right, now remember, we have to assume that however the divider splits up the candy, they split it into 2 shares or 2 halves that are equal in value. Okay, so let's talk about what Alfonso's fair share would be. Now his total value of the candy is going to be $9, right? If I add up 4, 3, and 2, we get $9. So if I took 9 and I divided by 2, we're going to get a fair share of $4.50. So we automatically know that whatever halves we create have to have a grand total of $4.50. Okay, so this is important. We know what these values have to add up to. They have to add up to 450 in both halves, because if he divides either half into something that's worth more or less than the other one, he runs the risk of getting something that is less than his fair share. So Alfonso is not going to do that. He's going to make sure that each half is equal in value. All right, so let's start here. This is where we just put the raw number of Snickers that he's going to put in. Let's say Alfonso really likes Snickers and he wants to put a lot of Snickers into half one. Okay, so we're just going to start with that. We're going to say Alfonso puts 60 Snickers in half one, which means there's 40 Snickers left over for half two. And then we can go and calculate those values, right? So we can do 60 times 0.04, and you would get $2.40 worth of Snickers, which leaves $1.60 worth of Snickers left over for half two. Okay, and let's say he's not a big fan of Milky Ways, so instead of doing like a 60-40, let's say we do a 40-60 split here of the Milky Ways, and then we can calculate the value of the Milky Way. So we can say 40 times 0.03 gives us $1.20, right? Which means we have $1.80 for half two, right? So these have to add up to 3 because the total value of the Milky Ways are 3. Okay, now this is where we use a little bit of algebra. Okay, so if I look at the total value that I currently have, I have $2.40 here, $1.20 here. Okay, so if I add those together, what I get is $3.60 worth of candy. It forces me to put a certain number of Reese's into this half because I can only put $4.50 worth of candy in this half. So if I have $3.60 tied up in Snickers and Milky Ways, I only have 90 cents worth of room for the Reese's. So to get 90 cents worth of Reese's, I need 45 of them to go in half one, right? Because 45 times 0.02 is 90 cents. Okay, so if there's 45 Reese's in half one, there's the remaining 55 have to go to half two, and we would have $1.10 worth of Reese's in half two. Okay, So I'm just going to check and make sure, because I have to make sure that these add up to 450. So I'm going to go through and just add these together. Okay, so we got 2.4 plus 1.2 plus 0.9, and sure enough we get our 450. And then in half 2 we'll add that one together too, so we got $1.60 plus $1.80 plus $1.10. And again we get 450, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, so looking at this from the perspective of the divider, if they were asking you a question like, tell me about a half that would be consistent with Alfonso's value system, either one of these halves that I described here would work. Either one of these would be something that's consistent with his value system. What they're really getting at is that the halves that Alfonso creates has to be equal to his fair share. They have to be equal in value. Okay, so when you answer that question on MyOpenMath, you could use either half that we calculated here. Both of them should come up as correct. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the Zoom chat. Give the practice problems a try, see what you can do, and good luck.